I think it's been one of the stupidest things we've done since letting Aubameyang go for free. In fact, it's about 10 times dumber.
He's going. I'm glad. Get out, man.
Well, you're an
Yo,
idiot.
we need to
Wow,
stop
wow,
being
wow, wow,
lazy,
whoa,
man. We
whoa,
need to
whoa,
stop
whoa.
it.
It's not.
Because the news is that Thomas Partey is not going to be staying, and the reason that is currently because there's been a situation where they've stalled on the contract negotiations, and Thomas Partey in the past has noted that he still wants to stay, and Arsenal have noted that they want to come to an agreement. But at this point, ESPN has reported that Thomas Partey is set to leave Arsenal, as sources have told that the Ghanaian international, uh, what whose contract expires in June, is not expected to re-sign with Arteta's side. And I don't think it's due to Arteta, but I do think it's mostly due down to the contract situation. Reportedly, we have offered him the same wages as what he's currently on. If I'm mistaken or you guys have heard differently, please do tell me. But reports are that we've offered him the same wages as what he was currently on this year. And he's turned that down, and maybe he wants a raise in wages, maybe he wants an increase in pay. But the real situation currently is that Arsenal just think at the age that he's at, with his history at the club, that they don't think he's worthy of a pay rise, and that they want to keep him on similar wages on a short deal. And there's a competitive offer elsewhere, which would mean Thomas Partey is destined to leave Arsenal. Who should I start with? Should I start with Dylan? Dylan, go ahead, bro.
I think it's been one of the stupidest things we've done since letting Aubameyang go for free. In fact, it's about 10 times dumber. We've just let Jorginho go. He's the last midfielder of a high age left in our team that offers experience in the Champions League at Atletico, Arsenal. This is a man who was benching Rodri playing for Atletico Madrid. This is one of the best midfielders on the planet, if not the best defensive midfielder on the planet. If anything, he's probably worth a pay rise. He's going to do it for another 2 years. But at the end of the day, Arsenal don't function like normal clubs. So we're messing about with it as we are with every other signing we're trying to make. We're messing about. And life's probably going to pass us by. Hopefully it doesn't, but I've seen it all before. So yeah, I'm pretty devastated about it, to be honest. But I'll believe it when I see it, because I don't think Arsenal would be stupid enough to let him go as it stands. So I don't believe everything.
Just to let you know, reports are that Thomas Partey will still be reporting to training or something like that, and
Going
that
to
there's still
Spain.
negotiations. What?
So we're doing a preseason in Spain in like a week and a half from now. So basically his contract ends right at the end of June 30th. So July 1, he's no longer an Arsenal player, and that overlaps with that preseason in Spain. So basically they're saying he's going to go, but at the point where his contract ends,
I thought he wasn't allowed in Spain.
Well, that was obviously disproven when he traveled with the team to go for the Champions League, right? So
yeah,
I don't even want to get into that. I mean, it's quite clear if you have a brain and you saw him travel that it shouldn't even be raised as a discussion topic, in my opinion, anymore. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the Thomas Partey stuff, I mean, yeah, I have a mixed feeling on this one. Like, I want to get rid of him just to I think it's just too toxic and poisonous, and it's just an issue and a problem that I don't want in my club, irrespective of what the scenario is. Like, it's just something that I feel is holding us down. But at the same time, do we have another 40 million to go and replace him right after we just got rid of Jorginho? I mean, we only have Odegaard, Declan Rice, Sambi Lokonga, really, that are on our books as midfielders, and now we'll have Zubimendi. So not enough, right? We still need to have another midfielder. So I'm not sure what we're going to do. I didn't expect it to go this way. And I do think there maybe might be one more turn where we just agree, or he just finally just agrees to stay with us. But he has better offers in Turkey and Italy. And if it's more money, then he should just go. And we should just move on.
Look, the reality is Partey is gone, in it. And it's and the only way we could have potentially kept him as if we were going to increase the wages of a 32-year-old that's only given us one full season. Look, I love Partey as much as the next guy. Is a baller, and he's going to be hard to replace. But it's really down to these scouts to go and find someone to come in. Like they just have to get it done. I don't care what they need to do. Get it done. Go and find a 40 million, 35 million, whatever you need to do, replace him. Because if we're just getting rid of him and doing nothing in return, that worries me. As long as we're doing something in return, obviously Zubimendi coming in, I can just about handle it. because Partey needs to be reasonable as well. Like, you're 32, bro. Well, on
Yeah.
paper you're 32 anyway. We'll talk about his real age in another stream. But but you know what I'm saying? You're 32 and you're asking for a pay rise, and you've only given us one full season. It's kind of cheeky of him, to be fair. Like, if he wants to still play at the top level, let's just agree to our deal, and you get a chance to potentially win a major trophy this year as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's up to Partey, really, but we're not increasing his wages for nobody. He's already one of the biggest players in our squad.
Souls?
He's going. I'm glad. Get out, man.
Right, you're an
Yo,
idiot.
we need to stop being lazy,
Whoa,
man. We
whoa,
need to
whoa,
stop
whoa.
it.
That's not.
I
come
don't
on,
give a shit, man. You guys, your hot take, cold take, whatever. I don't care. It might be the heat, it might be whatever. But the reality of the matter is, right, the club needs to move correct. He's a 32-year-old cheekily asking for 50 grand more a week. Are you mad, bro? How do you go from a full-timer, to a part-timer and ask for more money? Nah, man. Nah, respect yourself, man. If you want the money, go abroad. That's where you need to go. You gave us one good season. You played for a contract. It's as simple as that. I'm telling you, we can easily replace the guy. It's not going to be that difficult. Go get me Lucien Agoume from Sevilla, and we've got Zubamendi. Like, calm, man. This is not going to be the biggest loss that we've made. Yeah, it's fine. Let the guy go. He's 32 years old. The guy's going to get another injury by walking up the stairs because he's got another baby reveal to do. I don't care. The guy's been too injury prone. The guy's got too much drama around him. Just go. Yeah, you've not earned that kind of respect from the Arsenal club to demand more money. You're going to be playing a part role next season. We've got Martin Zubamendi coming in and potentially another midfielder coming in. I don't know where this guy got the...
from Partey.
What's that?
Zubamendi will learn from Partey.
He doesn't need to learn. The guy's a baller himself.
He doesn't need to
learn. There's nothing to learn.
I disagree with that, but in terms of like, do you want to give Partey a pay rise, bro? That's the reality. We're not gonna, we can't give him a 32-year-old a pay rise. That's the reality.
There's two things. One, are we going to be yelling we miss Partey first game after we play Man United?
No.
Yes, if we don't replace,
if we lose, yeah, of course they'll be.
Right. Think about this. Think of all the wet wipes that have been going, what if we had Xhaka for the last 2 years? Xhaka's not even half the player Thomas Partey is. So imagine...
And we haven't even replaced him, so now getting rid of Jorginho and Partey as well.
Stupid. The reality of the matter is, if the club moved correct, which is what I want them to do, then we wouldn't be saying these things. The reality of the matter is, they thought replacing Granit Xhaka, who's a natural midfielder, with a guy who they want to make a midfielder, was the wrong move. If they wouldn't actually gone and got a actual left-sided midfielder, we wouldn't be saying I don't miss Granit Xhaka. I want the club to go and correct their mistakes.
But so we're saying let's be
Zubamendi will not make me miss Thomas Partey.
We're saying that we still haven't replaced Xhaka, and now we're getting rid of another two experienced midfielders.
We've already replaced Partey, though.
Well, and my point is, let's be realistic, right? The fact that it's been 2 years and we still haven't even gone on a Xhaka upgrade, and now you're going to get rid of Jorginho and Partey. My thing is, I don't trust the club to go and replace them adequately, which is why I'm nervous. Otherwise, I wouldn't care.
As I said,
they've
already done it. Zubamendi is coming in.
But that's one player, so we lose.
Okay, let me stop everybody.
The second player doesn't really matter.
Let me stop everybody. The second player we are linked to is this gentleman right here, Agoume. In case you guys don't know who I'm talking about, let me show you. This is who we're being linked to. And reportedly, he's 22 years old. He's strong at winning duels and physicality. He's capable in the build-up. He's kind of press resistant. He has the experience playing in La Liga. And honestly, he does look like a smart, cost-efficient signing. Overall, let me just go through it. He's played in the Serie A. He's played in the French league. He's played in La Liga with Seville. He's currently going to cost you around 20 million overall. They're saying that he's a good defensive midfielder who can catch, who can win the ball high up the pitch. He does have a good pass on him also. Let's go to the next part here. If you compare him to Thomas Partey, he might not create as many key passes. He might not be as good as Thomas Partey at winning duels and carrying the ball. But overall, everything else statistically over there in Seville, he's been doing quite well. And I think in an Arsenal team where they're a lot more progressive, the 23-year-old can definitely improve massively. Now, is he better than Thomas
I want to
Partey?
hear
Right?
about improve. I need players now. I got
Is
Thomas
he-
Partey
is-
world class
is-
right now.
is-
I don't need it improved. Like I don't need
Is it a backward step going from
Yes,
Thomas
yes.
Partey, who's
Every
23 years old, who's 32 years old, to Agoume,
What
who's
has age
currently
got to do with
23?
anything? What's his age got to do with anything?
It has a big factor.
A lot.
When you're 23 years old and you're gonna come into a club less than 90K a week easy, compared to a guy who's demanding 250K a week at the age of 32 when he's going to be a rotation piece and he's not going to be starting week in, week out.
Dylan, the real question is, have you watched the guy play?
No, of course I haven't, because who the hell is this
There
guy?
you go then. How are you making a
You
comment
haven't watched
if you
him
don't
either.
know?
He does.
Yes, I
he
have.
watches
I
La
watched
Liga.
La Liga.
Why are you lying? Like, this,
What do
this
you
is
mean I'm
pointless.
lying?
Lying.
He watches La Liga.
I watch more La
What
Liga
lions,
than I
man?
do the Premier
No
League.
one watches.
Of course.
No
Let's
one
be
watches
honest.
it.
We don't watch
Just because
every
you
week,
don't, just
and
because
you
you don't, doesn't
watch
mean other
comps
people
and
don't
you
have
watch
a.
highlights, and you basically.
No, I don't watch highlights. I genuinely watch more La Liga than I do
Yes,
Premier League.
you sit down and watch Sevilla on a Tuesday night. Yes, of course you do.
Yes, because I watch more La Liga. I've been watching La Liga since I was 6. I actually watch more La Liga. I started off my journey in football watching La Liga more than the Prem. I came to watch the Prem.
So the question I asked to the panel.
No,
is,
wait.
Arsenal let Thomas Partey leave. They buy Agoume for 20 million to be a backup rotation piece with scope to grow and to improve. Is it not the right way to go?
Yes.
No,
it's not Agoume.
No, do you know what? Wait, I want to ask.
It's going to be Zubamendi who's replacing him in the 6.
He's going to replace.
Hold on.
Whichever way you put it, Jorginho and Partey are leaving. Agoume and Zubamendi.
No, wait. Hold on.
Jorginho barely played. Agoume is going to be the understudy to Zubamendi anyway.
Which is fine. Hold on, real quick, Egal. Like, because obviously you watch La Liga, so tell me about this. Like, what can we expect from this Agoume guy? Because I'm not going to pretend I've even watched any comps of him. Like, what type of player is he? Is he?
No, it's gonna be similar but different to Partey, right? So he's not gonna be as elegant on the ball in terms of like how swift like Partey can be, like the nickname the Octopus was given to Partey. But what you do see is a destructor, like a lot. He's a more elegant Rice, if that kind of makes more sense, right? He's in between of the two kind of players, like a hybrid of the two. He's more destructive and a lot more kind of a destroyer type midfielder who's got a bit more about him. He's a lot more press resistant, in my opinion, than a Rice. Like Rice can get out of situation by driving with the ball, whereas Agoume has got a bit more to his like dribbling and close control and getting out of situations in that way, the half turn, that kind of thing. And that's why I kind of think it's a perfect replacement. I know, yes, he's younger, and obviously whether that translates to the Premier League, obviously time will tell. But for me, if I'm going for someone who's going to replace him, he's a younger, but I wouldn't say raw, but kind of a made Partey in a sense as well. So I'm fine with it. I don't think people realize like how good this guy will be in a situation where Zubamendi doesn't work out and you need a bit more physicality. You bring a guy like this in. He's 22 or 20. Actually, he's 23 I think from last time I checked. So he's old enough. He's got experience. He's been playing for Sevilla for a few seasons. He's been playing in the first team. I'm fine with the player coming in. Like I don't think people are making opinions because they haven't watched him. They're looking at a name because their favorite player is going out. The other way to look at it as well is when Aubameyang. A lot of people wanted Aubameyang to sign in a similar age and stuff like that, higher package, all of this sort of stuff. And look how that turned out. I'm not saying it's entirely Aubameyang's fault, but he hasn't been the same player since he signed his contract either. So sometimes getting away from a player at that sort of age and bringing someone in can be refreshing for the team as well. And that's kind of how I see this.
And I'm with Souls as long as we get someone in. If we get rid of Partey and nobody comes in, that's when I start having the issue, because at the end of the day, we need that extra body. In
reality, we're kind of replacing Jorginho more than we are replacing a Partey, because Zubamendi is going to be the main guy.
No, I hear what you're saying, but we're still losing 2 midfielders and 2 experienced midfielders. So, and we're also losing the experience of Zinchenko as well. So we need to do something in return.
Because Zubamendi is experienced in some ways. It depends on how you see that experience.
With like he's not that he doesn't make up for the experience we lose from Jorginho, Partey, and Zinchenko. Regardless of how much you like them as players, like as a squad, we're dropping massively in terms of experience with those losses.
Been in the top
and quality
for a very long time.
Souls, you can say what you want, but you and I both know that they're not nowhere near as experienced as those players.
By the way, the Spanish national fans, right, and nationals have actually said that If it wasn't for Zubimendi coming on in the final, like he changed the game himself.
Bro,
He came on
okay,
for
I'm
Rodri.
let's have
bro,
a-
I'm not debating his quality. This ain't about his quality. I love
let's
the
have
player.
a conversation right now around Jorginho and Partey leaving and bringing in two midfielders of what do you call it, Agoume and Zubimendi. We don't know. There's a level of unknown on how good those two will be when they walk into the building right away. But 2 in, 2 out overall, can you fault the club? They let two players leave on a free that are 32 plus, and we're going to be bringing in two younger players on better wages. And obviously, as much as I love Thomas Partey, he cost us in the Champions League.
What?
He did.
By getting a card, yeah, okay, yeah, people mess up. Like he got a yellow card,
and in the second leg he cost us too. The goal was his mistake.
Oh, another one of these people who thinks that he was at fault for those goals. Play football, man. He was not at fault for any of those goals.
He headed the ball out the box straight to the for the first goal.
Have you ever played football?
Yes, I have.
The second goal is negotiable. Maybe he could do a better job of checking his shoulder. Someone should really communicate and give him a man on, and he shouldn't really be getting the ball in that position anyway. The first goal, if you think he's in any fault for that goal, you've never played football in your life. If you think he's at any fault for that first goal, the ball's come into the box with loads of people, thick of an area, and he's headed it away. That's his job. There's two players then. One player misses the duel, and then Martinelli doesn't get out to him quick enough, and he shoots the ball. If you think Thomas Partey is at fault for that goal, you've never played the sport in your life, and that there's absolutely no explanation other than that for thinking that in any way that he could have been at fault for that goal.
Okay, let me rephrase it. Thomas Partey had a hand
The
to play.
second one for sure, though. Dylan.
No, you need to rephrase and say that he makes mistakes sometimes and it has cost him. Because if you say something general like that, no one can disagree with you.
He has made mistakes in the past, yes.
Yeah, he's made mistakes, not just this last season, the season before. But again, that doesn't dispute anything about his quality and what he brings to the team. And
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying
he has a stupid error every 6 games. Let's keep it
at this moment in time.
One.
Do you guys want to pay? Do you guys want to pay
a
32-year-old for 2 years, 250K a week to sit on the bench? Because I think he's going to be sitting on the bench for Zubimendi.
Oh, why would he be sitting on the bench? Well, he's going to play. Like,
because we've got a midfielder coming in who's better.
He's not going to play.
You guys
Thomas Partey.
You can play
I'm telling you, man, Zubimendi is better.
Like, I'm not ready to say that, but look, Dylan, let's keep it a buck, right? The fact that with Zubimendi coming in next season, he's gonna play more than Partey is. That's gonna be 100, which is why we're not even considering the pay rise, because we're not gonna give a pay rise to a 32-year-old that's gonna be a rotational player next season.
What Man City have, and the reason Man City is so good, is because they've got numerous players in every position to the point you don't know who's going to start. That's what we need, but we don't have that. So everyone knows what we're going to come with, and if that player's injured, then it's a downgrade. It's like if Saliba or Gabriel gets injured, Kiwior is a downgrade. Yeah. If David Raya gets injured, whoever's coming in goal is a downgrade. If what's his face?
But that's usually how it is for anybody's best starters coming out of the team. It is slightly a downgrade, but it's about how the team as a collective work together to negate that issue.
No, but I hear what Dylan's saying, man. Like the drop can't be the drop can't be massive in it, which is why Dylan, I don't. It's not that I want Partey to go. My only issue is if Partey goes, is if we don't get anything in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we have to get in Agoume.
Yeah, we have to, or it's a terrible.
I love
thing.
how everyone's saying we have to, but no one's talking about the fact that we have Lokonga and we might just keep the guy.
That's not even an option, bro.
We extended his contract. We extended
so we can sell him for money, bro. So we can sell him for money.
I hope so.
Okay, let's talk about Lokonga. Guys,
let's not talk about
if Lokonga was anything, Souls would have told us because he watches La Liga and we don't, and he's not mentioning him, so I'm not.
No.
Lokonga's on 54K a week.
Arteta might be stupid in some ways, but he ain't keeping Lokonga as his second. Like,
who's gonna buy him?
Bro,
exactly.
Man.
Exactly.
No idea. It doesn't matter, man. Like, whatever happens to him happens, isn't it? Oh, he's not going to go into the season knowing that if Zubimendi gets injured, it's Lokonga. It's not happening.
No, it's not going to be Lokonga. Declan Rice comes back as the 6 if he gets injured, and you play 2, you play a left 8 and a right 8. Well, like, what are you guys talking about? And also, we haven't been serious.
That's horrible too. That's horrible. That's horrible.
What?
You brought Nakonga into the conversation. You can't ask
No,
us why
I'm
we're talking
saying
about
that
him.
we're talking about as if we were going to go spend 20, 30 million on another player. I'm telling you, be ready that the club might say, we'll
it's
keep
not
this
only
guy
Nakonga. One
elsewhere.
second. We also have Fabio Vieira.
Yeah, we're going to sell
But he's
him,
going
but
to play
he's
six,
not a
though. He's not going
defensive
to play the
player.
six.
You can't compare. He's not a defensive player. Sambi Lokonga is a
Okay,
CDM.
let me show you guys something. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and leave a comment down below what you thought of that video you just watched.